have this vivid memory of sitting in the bathtub one time and just crying.
I think I punched my dad once.
You're not in charge of me right now. Like, you just won't leave me alone.
I had an epidural in my back, so I couldn't move very well.
She just wanted me to keep pushing and keep going.
Everybody had one. Like, if you didn't have one, you were looked down upon.
This is a show where teenagers share their experiences growing up in today's world. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective.
So what I'm going to teach you guys today is something that you're going to use literally for the rest of your life. So raise your hand if sometimes you're in a situation and you just don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle it. You don't know what to do. Raise your hand if you've ever been in that situation. You just don't know what to do. So maybe you're like breaking up with somebody or about to break up with somebody. You don't know how to handle it. All right. So who's in that situation? Raise your hand. I'm just curious. Oh man, there's a couple. Man, I see more than four. Jeez. Oh, I know why. It's like February, right? Like February is like, but shouldn't it be the other way around? Like everybody should be getting along and like, I don't know, man, it's a weird year. But in any case, maybe you're getting bullied. How do you handle that? Or maybe someone told you a secret and you feel like you need to just share it with somebody, right? And you don't know how to handle it. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to handle a situation. Like whatever situation you're in, I'm going to give you the answer. So who wants to know the answer to any situation you deal with? Like start punching the camera. Punch the camera so I know. How many people want to know that? I see a couple. This is it. So this is what I want to tell you. You want to take notes. And it's a lot of information I want you to remember. Okay? Anytime you're in a situation, you have options of how you're going to handle it. Now, I'm going to teach you on how to handle it, but I'm not going to give you the answer. We'll talk through some things, but I can't tell you what you should do in every situation. Like, perfect example. Say, for instance, your parents are like nagging you constantly. I mean, like you walk in the door. Why didn't you clean your room? Where's your homework? You didn't turn your assignment. Go clean the dishes. Like, you just like, I can't take it anymore, right? In fact, we had one person who like straight up ran away from home. Just like took the keys and I'm out of here, right? I don't recommend that. I don't recommend it. But what I'm saying is this is going to help you know how to handle certain situations. So in any given scenario, you have 5 ways you can handle a situation. 5. So remember that, 5. And you're going to choose. I'm not going to choose for you. You're going to choose. I'm not going to choose for you. But there are some that are common that we can talk about. So you ready for them? Here we go. Whenever you're handling a situation, understand that you have choices. There are times that you are going to gravitate to one choice, right? It's 5 of them. You're going to gravitate to one. And this is based on like your past, your personality, your confidence level. So you're going to choose this based on, some of you go to the same one every single time. We'll give you options now, all right? So it's options. Now, the key to remember is these choices you're going to choose, they're not you. That's the number one thing. Before I teach you anything, you have to understand that this has nothing to do with you as a person, okay? So no judgment on yourself. If you choose one of these things a lot, right, you're going to discover this, which one it is. All right, you may choose a couple. I don't want you judging yourself at all because it has nothing to do with you. I want you to start thinking about life as a strategy. Everything you do is a strategy. Perfect example, like the kid who took their parents' keys and like left, right, ran away from home. That was a strategy, okay? It's not like she was a bad person. She's not a bad kid. She's an amazing person. It's just that was her strategy. And not all strategies work. Not all strategies benefit us. There's no difference than some of you who are like just, yelling back at your parents, right? Like your parents are mad and you're like, be quiet. Or, you say the wrong word, I think. I think the most disrespectful word is like, shut up. That's like disrespectful for me. And some of you guys are like, shut up, mom. And I'm like, man, that's a strategy. I don't know if that's a good one. That's all I got to say. I don't think that's a great strategy. At least, for my kids are still young. But that strategy is not going to work. I will say that. So yes, like Elijah's right. It's like chess, right? It's a strategy. Life is strategy. Everything you do is strategy. Whenever you take a certain picture, right? You like taking a selfie, you're posting it on Snapchat, Instagram. It's a strategy. This is your strategy to get some attention. Or it's your strategy to be funny, which is still getting attention. Like it's all strategy. So the wonderful thing about a strategy is it has nothing to do with you. That's so amazing, right? It has nothing to do with you. You're still this amazing person, but your strategies didn't work. So right now we have how many people are like straight up, just straight C students? I mean, all you see is C's all day. C's galore, right? That has nothing to do with how smart you are. Just by the way, I just wanted to tell you guys that. You're still smart. You're still intelligent. You're still amazing. But guess what? If you're making C's, all it says is that your strategy is not working. You're still cool. You're still amazing. But you have to change your strategy. So if that makes sense to you, raise the roof for me. I'm just want to see how, we're going to get energy. There we go. Okay. I like to see it. I like to see it. Okay. Now we got that out the way. Let's go over these 5. In any situation, you can choose any of these 5. You choose it. And we'll talk about a few of them. Now, the first strategy or the first situation you could choose to be the victim. Write it down. Victim. Come on. I want to see those pens moving. Any situation. You broke up, somebody dumped you. You can choose to be the victim. What would the victim do? Victims are like helpless, right? Like they need somebody to save me. So oftentimes you can tell when you're the victim is when you're crying a lot. You're crying a lot. Maybe you just are not like motivated. It's like, hey, there's no point. Like I can't do, if you ever say the word, I can't do this, or there's no point. I'm talking to teenagers sometimes and I'm like, hey, why don't you have a conversation with your parents about this? There's no point. They're so stubborn. They don't listen to me. There's no point. That's victim. That's a victim. You could choose that if you want to. It's a strategy. Remember, it's not you. You're still an amazing person. You're still awesome, but you're just choosing the victim strategy. That's all. It's a strategy. And that's okay. Because you know what? The victim strategy works sometimes. Who here can tell me a time where the victim strategy works? Put it in the chat. Think about when you're crying or you're like feeling sad. Maybe, let's see, when you have friends that support you. Yes, essentially, Devin, that's right. Victim works because guess what? Typically, if you're the victim, there's a hero somewhere, right? Like someone's going to come save the day. In fact, there's actually groups, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of these groups. There are groups, but they're like depression groups. This is like, we're all depressed together. We want to be depressed. I'm more depressed than you because it's like, hey, I get some attention from that. And if I'm depressed and I'm crying, someone would come in and give me attention. Remember, it's attention. All of us seek attention. All of us. It's actually a human need. Okay. It's the need of significance. Every single human needs to feel significant. Every single human. I don't care who you are. Even people who's like, hey, I want to go against the crowd. I don't care about anybody. They're seeking attention, even by not trying to be the popular person. They want to be I don't want to be far from popular. It's part of us. We all have those needs. Okay. And it's okay to have those needs. I was getting bullied and never told my mom. When I finally cried in front of her, she found out and helped. Okay. Did you just see this? This is what I'm talking about. This is a strategy. This is not because you're weak or you're a broken person because you cry. It's literally a strategy, and a strategy you can choose. Now, me personally, I don't choose victim very much at all, to be honest. In fact, I don't cry as much. Every now and then when I'm watching a movie, allergies, get kind of bad. If you're in Austin, you know about allergies. So when I'm watching a movie, sometimes the allergies get bad. And, I'm like, it's just allergies, right? It's not me crying, just allergies. But no, that's what I tell my wife sometimes, like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, no, it's allergies. Don't you know outside is allergies? But anyway, that's a strategy you could choose, and it works for some people. There's nothing in the manual that says you have to cry. But guess what? Say you cry all the time. Is that bad? It's not bad, right? Crying is not bad. Remember, it's a body response. It's like reaction. Some people cry for like everything. Someone can like be rude to them and they'll cry, and that's okay. And some people actually cry when they get mad. Who cries when they get mad? You're not being a victim. You're just like super mad. You start crying. All right. It's not like crying is just victim. That's just the way your body responds. So raise your hand here if you can identify the last time you chose the victim strategy, and put it in the chat for me. I want to just check out and see how you guys are using this strategy, because it's a strategy and it's a choice. You're choosing this. So I just want you to know that. All right, let's see. One of my friends ended our relationship and told me to end my life. What the heck? What kind of friends are out there? And I finally broke down. I told my mom, and it helped instead of keeping it inside. So I'm so glad this person said that, because you're right. This is a strategy. There's something about when you're using the victim strategy is getting help. It's very difficult to deal with some things on your own. So if you cry or you like really just tell somebody I can't handle this, you will usually get help. So that's a strategy. All right. Now, I heard that crying can cleanse the soul. Yes, Mackenzie, I like it. You're right. There's nothing wrong with crying. Crying is, there's nothing wrong with crying at all. This person said they were having suicidal thoughts and they told their parents. That's great. That was great. So I would consider that a victim strategy, but it worked. So I don't want you thinking that any of these 5 are terrible. Now, I will say this. We all know that there are things we all want. Okay. We all want things. I don't care what that is. PS5, straight A's, more friends, whatever. The victim strategy is usually not going to get you there. Just saying that. So just remember that. There's times you want to use the victim strategy, but I wouldn't rely on this strategy. Remember, we still have 4 other strategies we want to talk about. So I'm explaining something about the strategies, how you know which strategy you're using. Because some of these strategies you're going to notice, it has a lot to do with the way you're thinking, okay? So if your mom is saying, hey, you're blaming others, and this person said, hey, I'm completely unaware of it, that I wouldn't call that the victim strategy. A victim strategy is when you know, like, hey, I'm helpless, I'm hopeless, I'm ugly, I can't, there's no way. All these thoughts, that's the victim strategy, okay? The reason why I'm saying that it's a strategy is because it's something you're choosing. I'm not talking about your immediate reaction. Someone like, hey, you're ugly. Obviously, if somebody tell you you're ugly, you're going to feel like, oh man, that kind of hurts. But after a while, your mind kicks in and you choose. Now, you could choose to think about that comment all day and be sad, right? That's a strategy. Or you can choose to change. We'll talk about all that stuff. All right, so let's go to the second one. So if you're ready for the second strategy, give me 2. Throw up the 2s, the deuces. All right, so the second one, you guys are going to be super familiar with this one. Oh, man, I tell you, this strategy is probably the most common strategy between teenagers and their parents. All right, you ready? You could be the fighter, That's the second strategy. You could choose to be the fighter. You could choose to say, I am not taking this another day, right? You can say, I'm going to fight back. You yell at me, I yell back. So that's a strategy. Now, first of all, how many of you identify with this strategy a lot? Punch the camera. Show me this. Punch the camera if you identify this strategy a lot. I knew it. Look at Lawrence said yes. All right, so let's talk about the strategy. Share with me a time when this strategy actually is a good strategy. When is it a good time that you feel for your life and who you are to use this fighter strategy? Tell me when the time to be fighter. When my friend takes my food, that's a good one. Yes. When I'm in debating my annoying brothers. Oh man. Okay. Defending yourself. Yes. So my friend Elijah is going to tell us about the time he feel that being the fighter is a good one. All right, here we go, Elijah.
So basically, I was at the park with my brother and stuff, and we were like playing around and stuff. And then this kid bumps into my brother on purpose. What I did was I jumped over like the fence and I ran up to that kid, grabbed him by the shirt and said, you bump into my brother again, I'm going to knock your teeth out.
Whoa. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Now, give me a thumbs up if you would use that strategy. Give me a thumbs down if you don't want to use that strategy. Now, who's right? Think about it. Should you do that or should you not do that? See, that's what's so cool about this, guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is so cool about this. All the things I'm sharing with you, these are choices and these are strategies. It has nothing to do with you. So if he was to go do that and you witnessed it, you can't call Elijah like this mean bully, right? You can't call him that. That was a strategy he was using. He was defending his brother. But you're going to learn about life. Life is never black and white as you think. You see something, you be like, oh, he's a bully. But you just never know because you're not inside his head. He's like, hey, I'm actually defending my brother. So no, thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Let's see another one. When my brother takes my last cupcake. Now, let's all talk about times where it's not a good idea to use this strategy. Can we all just say this together? Let's not use this strategy with our parents, man. Come on. Let's think about this. I don't think it's a good strategy with parents. I really don't. And I'm on your side. I'm the life coach for teenagers, not the parent. But I'm going to shoot you straight. The fighter strategy is not the best strategy to use with your parents. All right. I'm just going to put that out there. So let's commit today to try not to use this strategy with our parents. All right. So if you want to make this commitment right now, I want you to just hold your right hand up like this. I just want to see who all is going to try to commit to this. Now, I'm not saying you'll be perfect every time, but remember, I just want you to be aware of this. Say, okay, this is a strategy. I know I'm mad right now, but hold on. Let's not become the fighter in this. Okay. It will not get me a PS5. I promise. So Sheila said I would never use it on my parents. Hey, I'm gonna just tell you ahead of time. I was raised in the time where spankings were okay. I used to get that belt and it'd be like, pow. I was scared of the belt. I will say that. So I was obedient. I would never, ever think twice about questioning my parents. Okay. Now I actually encourage my kids to question me. I do. I encourage it. But back in those days, it was not happening. You do not talk back. You get a spank, you get smacked in the mouth. Now, who here still gets spankings? I'm just curious. Oh, there's a couple people get spankings. Man, hey, so you guys know how it was, when I was a kid. I see that it's dying out. Most people are not getting spankings anymore. I don't really spank my kids. But I do encourage them to like challenge me. I like that, to be honest. I like for my child to challenge me. And the only reason why I like it is because I want to train my kids. You know, if they truly believe in something and they truly want to get their point across, there's ways they can do it in a respectful way. You don't have to like yell and say, shut up, dad. He can share what he thinks. And I want him to be that type of person. So I encourage it. So we talked about the victim. We talked about the strategy. Now, I would tell you this much. Let's start to judge these two strategies. Which one will get you closer to what you want? If you only had those two to choose, the victim or the fighter? What do you think? Put in the chat. I see fighter, the victim. It depends. Victim, fighter, fighter, fighter. Depends, victim. Neither are really productive. All right, I'm going to tell you this, guys. As we move up to 5, the higher we go, the better you're going to feel and the more you're going to get what you want, just so you know. So if you had to choose between the victim or the fighter, choose the fighter. Obviously, there's times to be the victim. You just lost your puppy, right? Your puppy died. Yes, the victim works really, really well. If you're like having those suicidal thoughts, yes, victim works really, really well. You want attention. You want people to come and surround you and support you. Yes. But as it relates to you getting your goals, as it relates to like a bully, or maybe it relates to you want to be a straight A student, right? I want you to choose a fighter. I don't want you to go in thinking I'm stupid. That's the victim. I'm dumb. I can't do this. I'm not smart. That's victim. Fighter is like, listen, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to fight for this, right? So we're going to move up the ladder. Who's ready for number 3? Hold up 3. All right. So 3 is this one. Hold on. Here we go, guys. You ready? Write it down. I need you to write it down. 3 is the manipulator. The manipulator. We all have it, man. I see Sadine is smiling, so I feel like Sadine is resonating with that one. So the manipulator. Now tell me, who knows what a manipulator is? Like, what is that? Explain it. Talk to us. What's a manipulator?
A manipulator is someone who tricks you mentally and like will say something like, for example, oh, if you eat this candy from here, oh, you'll be healthy and there will nothing be wrong with you for the rest of your life. That's manipulation.
I like it. I like it. Yes. Yes. Great job, Mackenzie. High 5. So I want you to think of this way. Whenever you're being the manipulator, and sometimes it's subtle. I'm just let you guys know it's super subtle. But when you're being the manipulator, remember this. You're being selfish. You're only thinking about yourself. So all guys do it. We all do it. I've done it, right? We all do it. And we all continue to do it. It's a strategy. Sometimes it's a good idea, right? So tell me when it's a good idea to be a manipulator, to really focus on yourself and make sure you get what you want, even if it's at the expense of other people. Tell me about that. When someone is robbing you, okay. Yes, when someone is robbing you, okay. To turn a situation to your favor when you want something else. Yes, to get the last cupcake. Man, you guys are really on cupcakes today. When you want revenge, okay, I'm not saying you should choose this. I'm just giving you options. You have a choice every time. Getting money, all right? Arguments that don't have much meaning, all right? A lot of you now manipulate your parents. Tell the truth. You manipulate your parents. You know what buttons to push to get what you want. That's what we call the manipulator. And I don't want you to think about you being a selfish person. Remember, it's a strategy. It's not you. You're still awesome. You're still amazing. You're still all of those things. But you're using this strategy. You're taking on the manipulator hat and you're going to try to get whatever you want. Remember, it goes up. So as it relates to getting what you want, the manipulator is a higher level than you just fighting. It's a higher level than you being a victim. All right. The manipulator, you're going to feel as it relates to your overall happiness and you becoming successful, you got a better chance of being happier and successful. You're a manipulator versus a victim. Same way as a manipulator versus a fighter. All right. So it goes up. Now, in any given situation, you could choose any one. Because remember, it's a strategy. Now, what do we do with strategies? Why are we talking about strategies? If one strategy doesn't work, so say for instance, you were the victim, it didn't work. What do? Do you keep trying to be the victim or you try something else? What do you think? Yes, you try something else. A strategy is all it is. You want to try it. If it works, great. Put it in your memory because you'll use it for next time. If it doesn't work, toss it and try something else, all right? So if the fighter's not working, try to go level up. Always try to level up. Fighter's not working. Okay, well, let me see if I can try to think through this. I like to call the manipulator the thinker. Like, how can I make this situation work out to my favor? Remember, there's no judgment on yourself. This is a strategy. What is the difference between manipulating and blackmail? That's actually a great question. All right, it's a really great question. Blackmail is definitely a form of manipulation. Like when you hear the word manipulation, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not that. Yes, we are. We all do it. Anytime you are doing something for yourself, it's not saying that you want to hurt someone else. I don't want you to get that idea, right? It's not saying that you're trying to hurt someone. You're just saying, hey, I only thought about myself when I made that decision. I didn't know it was going to hurt you. I'm sorry it hurt you, but I was just thinking about myself. That's all. So we've all been there. And there's times that you may choose that strategy. So that's how I'm going to tell you guys the difference. Blackmail is the intent of hurting someone else. Manipulation doesn't have to be that way. I would give you a perfect example. Driving. How many drivers out there? Raise your hand if you're driving. All right. I see some drivers. Devin, that's what I'm talking about, Elijah. So whenever you're in a rush and you cut someone off and say you hadn't paid attention, you're just like, oh, I gotta go. Were you like a bad person? No, you used a manipulation strategy. You were focused on yourself. That's all it is. When you focus on yourself, we're talking about cupcakes. So say, for instance, your parents made some cookies or cupcakes and there's only one left and you eat the last one. That's the manipulator. You chose the manipulator strategy. You only thought about yourself. You didn't think about maybe you could split it with your brother and sister. No, you thought about yourself. All right. So we all think through these things. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys, all of these personalities that we're talking about, the victim, the fighter, the manipulator, you literally bounce among all these constantly. You could literally go from a victim to a fighter in a split of a second. You could literally go from a fighter to a manipulator like that. So I just want you to be aware of these because when you're faced with a situation, your girlfriend just broke up with you. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to be the victim? Will that work? I'm going to cry. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to cry, not hang out with my friends. Will the girl come back if that's what you want? I don't know. You have to try it. Maybe your parents come and give you some support and love. Maybe that's what you want. If that's what you want, it worked. Maybe you want to do it. I'm the fighter. Now, I don't mean fight your girlfriend. What I'm saying, the fighter is like, listen, I don't care about her anyway. Her breath smelled bad, right? That's the fighter in you, all right? Like, oh, she had bad breath. I'm glad we broke up. That's the fighter. Or you could do the manipulator. You could be like, oh, you could text her and say, maybe her name was Kaylee, but you say Ellie. You're like, hey, Ellie, I can't wait to see you tonight. And oops, sorry, I didn't mean to say that to you, which you did on purpose. So many strategies you could use, but will it get you what you want is a question. I don't think either of those are the best option, by the way. We still have 2 more. Remember, 2 more. I only shared 3 with you, so there's more, so keep waiting. Who's ready for 4? Do this. Right here, if you're ready for 4, that's it. We're ready for 4. All right, 4 is the lover. The lover. All of us have it in us. A lover cares about other people. So you're not thinking about yourself. So for instance of the cupcake, the manipulator would have ate the whole thing, didn't even share. A lover would have given it to someone. Say, hey, I really want this cupcake, but you know what? I really care that you have it. Look at Monty's like, that's not me at all. I'm not giving up my cupcakes. This is a lover. It's a strategy, right? It's a strategy. Now, share with me, when is a great time to choose a strategy of a lover? When is a great time? Tell me. What do you think? With your family? Yes, with your family. Hey, the strategy is number 4, right? To be a lover. Well, guess what the 4 usually will go to? The 1, the victim, right? Lovers, like they see someone hurting, they want to support them. So you see how that works together? When someone's in pain, yes, Waverly's right. When someone's in pain, that's a wonderful strategy to be a lover. And what is your strategy? Like, look, I care about you. I want to choose this strategy. I want to wear this lover hat. I'm still an amazing person, but I want to be this way. Maybe in a situation where you broke up with your girlfriend, what do? If you choose a lover strategy, maybe you send a sweet text, say, hey, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I thought you was a wonderful person. I wish you all the best. And be sincere about it. That's a lover. That's a lover strategy. How can you use a lover strategy as it relates to school? Some of you don't care about school. And even though I'm trying to encourage you to like school, some of you don't care because you're like, hey, school is pointless. But hey, why don't you think about someone else? That's the lover's always thinking about someone else. So think about your parents. How do your parents feel to know that you're this smart person, but you're not turning your homework in? Your parents are super stressed out. Trust me, we talk to them. They're stressed. So a better strategy than being the fighter is to choose a lover. Be like, you know what? I don't care about school, but you know what? I know my parents really, really care about this. I see my parents losing sleep about this. I'm going to actually study. I'm going to turn my homework in just for my parents. It may not be for myself, but I'm going to do it for my parents. That's a strategy. That's a higher level. If you use that strategy for majority of your situations, you're going to be happier and you're going to be more successful. I'm just saying. I like this one. Ariana, being respectful to the teacher and your peers. Yes. You see these teachers trying to teach and you see the kids over here not listening and the teachers is like worn out. Be the lover, right? And be like, hey, and a lover could be simple as a compliment. Hey, Miss Beasley, I just want to say you're one of my favorite teachers. That would literally make her day. I'm just telling you guys, by the way, that literally makes your day. So I want you guys to try to use these higher levels. The 4th strategy is higher than 1, 2, or 3. So choose that. So my challenge for each one of you today is before you go to sleep tonight, give one person a sincere compliment. One person before you go to bed. So if you're going to take this challenge, give me a high five. Come on. Who's going to take this challenge? Before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to choose a strategy as a lover. Asby, you don't leave me hanging? Come on, Asby. Come on, man. All right, thanks, Asby. I'm with you, man. All right, one compliment. It has to be sincere. That's a sincere compliment. Don't just be like, oh, mom, your cooking was great. No, be sincere. Just think about it, all right? All right, you guys are doing great. So we're going to go from a 5. If you're ready for 5, give me a double high five. Bam. That's it. All right, here we go. 5. This is the best strategy to choose almost all the time. This is a strategy I go with. I'm telling you now. This is my strategy every single time, almost. And this strategy is my favorite, is the leader. The leader, write it down. You can choose to be the leader. Ooh, this is a good strategy. So this is my favorite strategy. The reason why it's my favorite strategy, because you would experience more happiness and you will get more of what you want if you're the leader. All right, I'm going to teach you how to be the leader, this strategy, how it works. Anytime you're in a situation, you ask yourself this question: how can I get what I want? Which is good, right? Because think about it. This is a little better than a lover. A lover is only thinking about getting you what you want, right? Like if I'm Jada and I see Jada's having a hard time, I'm only focused on Jada. I can care less about myself, right? And I do this at times. Like when I'm coaching, sometimes it's hard for me to sleep because I'm thinking about it so much. Like, man, I really want to break through this kid. This kid is struggling. That's me being the lover. But also it's hurting me. You know, it kind of hurts because I'm not getting sleep and, you know, whatever, right? So a better strategy than the lover is to be the leader. The leader thinks win-win. How do I get what I want? And how does the other person get what they want? If you use this strategy with your parents, you would literally pretty much have a PS5, unlimited game time, have as many friends sleeping over. Josh was like, nah, man, I'm telling you, Josh, you got to use this strategy. I'm telling you, it works. You got to think to yourself, to be the leader, win-win. All right, I'm going to tell you the fastest way to get more game time right now. Fastest way. Turn in your assignments. Turn your homework assignments in without your parents having to ask. They're only asking because they think you're not going to do it. So if you start crushing it, like if you just come home, I've already told you guys a secret. You come home with energy, right? You left school, you come home with energy. It's like, hey, mom, hey, how's it going? High five, mom. Woo, today was a great day. And guess what, mom? I cannot wait. We have a test tomorrow. I'm super excited. I'm going to work on my homework. Hey, do you need anything? Can I get you anything? Okay, I'm going to work. Your mom will be like, who is this kid? This is amazing. And then you do your homework, you turn your homework, you keep that up. You say, oh, mama, by the way, you know, I've been working really hard. I'm just curious. Is there any way I can get an extra hour of game time? You want 2, son? Here, have 2. I'm telling you, it works. It works. You got to think leader. You got to be the leader. How do you be the leader when you're breaking out? Oh, it's a tough one. How do you use a strategy and somebody just dumped you? Come on, give it to me. What do you guys think? Elijah, get some sleep, man. You need some sleep. You need sleep. Sleep is good. Oh, man, you guys don't know the answer, huh? Cutting deal. Let's see. Be the lover. That's 4. I'm saying strategy 5. The lover is 4. Sleep on it. Okay. Let me see what else you guys have. Think about it. A leader is win-win. Split the cupcake in half. I like it, Justine. Yes, that's right. If you had a breakup, how do you choose 5? How do you choose to be the leader in the breakup? Remember, you just got dumped. How do you choose the 5? Because I know you want to be 1. Most people go to 1, just be honest. Let's go through the whole cycle here. Hey, it's over. Okay, I just got the text. It's over. I'm going straight to 1. Most people, you're just sad. Oh, man, like what happened? Like what? Some people go to 2. They go to the second level, and that is like anger. Like, how dare they break up me on the phone? Like, they could at least call me. They did it over text. Or even worse, they just posted it on one of my pictures on Instagram. That's terrible. 3 is, I'm going to get her back. I'm going to get her back. I'm going to get him back, right? I'm going to manipulate the situation. 4 is like, you know what? I really, really hope that she finds someone, he finds somebody that will make her happy, right? That's 4. So what is 5? So 5 in that situation, the leader would be a win-win. In order for you to be a leader in any situation, you have to know 2 things. Well, what are the 2 things you need to know? This person says, how do you deal with someone stealing your art and then they repost it and claim it's theirs? Man, come on. What strategy are you choosing? Are you going victim mode and just cry about it? Are you going to fight? I mean, you're going to like, hey, I'm going to like post a bunch of negative things. Like I'm going to troll them. Are you going to go 3? How can I make this to my advantage? Okay. 4, you know what? They took that art. That means they like my art. I wish them the best. I'll keep making art and they can keep stealing my art. And one day, hopefully it works. Or 5 would be like, hey, how many followers? If they have a lot of followers and they're taking my art, hey, why don't I reach out to them and see if we can do a deal? I get what I want. They get what they want. So let's go back to 5. In the situation of breaking up with somebody, what are the 2 things you need to know? Come on. How do you be a leader? You have to know 2 things. You got to tell me this. You need to know what you want And you need to know what they want. How can it be a win-win if you don't know what you want and you don't know what they want? You got to know these things. So if you want to take on the strategy of the leader, you have to know what they want and you have to know what you want. So the question for all of you guys who just got dumped in February, what do you want? What do you want? Ask yourself that question. What do you want? Do you want to get back with them? Do you want somebody else? Do you want this time to yourself? Do you want to just feel that you're still loved? Like, what do you want? What if I left him? Okay, if you left him, what do you want now? You know, do you want happiness and just freedom, peace, nothing? All right. So she said, I don't want anything because he cheated. I will tell you this. If someone's cheated, that means you got hurt. All right. I know you felt some pain from that. So what you probably want is healing, right? I'm sure you want healing from that because you don't want to then have trust issues for the next person. That's not fair. So you want to heal. So that's what you want. You want to heal from that. Now, what does he want? If you want to be the leader, you got to figure out what does he want? I don't know. You got to ask him. I don't know what he wants. So that is the leader. That's how you choose a leader. Now, if you keep this mentality to choose a leader, I have no doubt that you're going to be the happiest, most successful person in life. Because what you're going to do is you're going to train your brain to go to that strategy. Naturally, we go to the first one, which is the victim or the fighter. It's natural. Every human, that's why it's called the fight or flight, right? Fight or flight. The fight is, obviously the fighter. The flight is more the victim, right? Fight or flight. We're going to victim or we're going to fighter naturally. Anytime something happens, you studied it for your test, you got to C. You're going victim mode. You blaming the teacher and you're going fighter mode. Your mom just yelled at you in front of your friends. You got embarrassed. That's victim. Embarrassment is victim. You're going victim. But then you may go fighter mode and yell back at her, because you want to show like your friend, like, hey, I'm cool. So what I'm telling you is I want you to practice going to the higher level. Going to either the manipulator, the lover, or the leader. I'm going to tell you from experience, choose leader, okay? Go with the leader. You're getting bullied, think leader. Yes, you can be the victim and you can get help, but guess what? You can also be the leader. So who here has a question of how to use this strategy? Put in the chat, I'm gonna help you out. I want someone to tell me they love me. All right, so this is a good one. So if you want to hear the words, I love you, then you can get that in any of these 5 strategies, okay? Strategy 1 is what? You can just like tell someone like, hey, I don't feel loved. You can go to your parents and say, I don't feel loved. And guess what they're going to say? I love you. You can go to your friends. I don't feel loved. I love you. So that's one strategy. Number 2 is what? You could just be angry, right? You could be angry thinking that's going to help you get love. How many people, adults who choose the angry path? They say they're in love, but then they're aggressive. Maybe there's some domestic abuse. A lot of times when you look at somebody involved in domestic abuse, they claim they love the person, right? And remember, your vision and your version of love is different. There's a book that's called The 5 Love Languages, right? Everyone sees love or experiences love differently. Someone may think that some aggression is love, right? Some people experience that. But my point is that's the second one. That's the fighter. The third one, you can manipulate love, right? And people do it all the time. You see on Snapchat, you're trying to be a certain way that that's not you to try to get some fans. That's 3. I mean, they're just choosing this manipulation. That's what they're choosing. 4 is to love someone else. And naturally, you may get love from loving other people. 5 is how do I create a situation where I love someone and they love me back? So that's how you use the situation. All right, cool. Let's see another one. I'm confused. How do you respond as a leader with the breakup? Are you just being understanding or you just keep to yourself? It's a great question. Thanks for asking this. There's 2 things you have to know if you want to be a leader. Always 2 things. You need to know what you want and you need to know what they want. All right. So there's a breakup. First, find out what do you want? And this is not as easy as it sounds. The person earlier, I'm not sure it was, they say, I don't want anything. That's not true. If someone cheated on you, you want healing. You want healing from that. It hurts to be cheated on. So that's what you want. You want healing. Now you have to think about what does the other person want? And not every situation you're going to be able to know that. Maybe if it was a bad breakup, they won't even tell you. So at that point, 5 is not possible, the leader. Maybe the 4, the lover is the leader. Maybe they're struggling. Maybe they have a tough time at home. I feel sorry for them. I really want the best for them. That's the best way to choose. Because guess what? If you choose that strategy, you go on each day feeling good. I love this person. It didn't work out. I want the best for them. You go the next day smiling. You're going. You're happy. If you choose victim, you're like sad for how many days? Weeks, months, a year? And guess what? That whole year or a month that you're sad, how many other people you met or you could have started to meet someone else, have some other friends, right? I will tell you this. There are so many people in this world. If one person is not it, I'm going to tell you exactly what I used to do whenever I was in school and I was dating. Luckily, I don't have to date anymore because I'm married and I'm happily married. But when I was dating and it didn't work, so say for instance, someone broke up with me. It hurt. I went to victim one. All right. It was natural. But then I snapped out of it and I did this little thing. And I'm going to teach it to you. So what I did was I did this like skip step. So just imagine here, I can't do it because there's not enough space here. I did a skip step. This is a true story. So when I felt myself like kind of feeling sorry for myself and I felt like I was a victim, I did a skip step and I was like, next. That's what I did. I kept doing that around my house. I'd be like, next. And I just kept doing that. And that whole little thing made me feel better. It did. Because it helps remind me like, wait a minute, God did not stop making one person. There's so many people here. If it didn't work out for that person, guess what? Now I'm figuring out who I really want to be with, right? Because I learned something from that. Okay, I'm better. I learned something from this one. Okay, I'm getting better. So I just kept saying next. Now, you know me, I'm a big body movement person. I do a lot of movements. The reason why is because that helps train my subconscious. How many of you know that you can smile and like, yay, I'm okay. I just broke up, but it's fine. But no, you're struggling inside, right? But when you're around your family, you're like smiling, you're hurting inside. You know why? It's because in your subconscious, you haven't created belief in your subconscious. You have to get fully into it. So I did this little skip step. It's like next. And then, after a couple of times, I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I get to choose my strategy. At that point, I choose lover. That's my strategy because I know it makes me feel good. I do want the best for other people. If something doesn't work out, okay, I don't want somebody to get hurt or anything, right? So I choose lover. So that's how you choose 5. You have to know what they want. If you don't know what they want, the best you can do is 4. Let's see, if you break up with someone, is it better to say it to their face or through text? Okay, this is a great question. Another great question. It depends on a couple things. I want you to use your best judgment, right? Know the person. Obviously, if it's someone who's aggressive, maybe abusive, I don't think you want to do it in their face, all right? I'm just saying. If they're abusive, you don't want to be there. But I'm the type of person, I like to have conversations face to face. That's just I'm old fashioned, I guess. But I would tell you this way, it's whatever you think. There's no right or wrong on that. If you feel more comfortable doing it through text, do it through text. If you feel more comfortable talking to them, talk to them. All right. So in the chat, I want you to tell me which strategy you're going to try to use that you find that you have not used that much before, but you're going to make a commitment to use it more today. I'm just curious, which strategy you're going to use it more? And remember, not everyone should always say leader. Maybe you're a victim a lot and your next strategy is to become a fighter. Stand up for yourself. I'm not going to keep crying over this thing. I'm fighting now. That's a better strategy than being sad about something for like a long, long time. So this person says, I'm going to be a fighter. This person says, I'm going to actually try the lover. I'm going to be the leader. Gabby says lover. A lover, I never, ever use it. I like this. See, this is awesome, man, that you guys came here on a Friday. And you're going to see how your life changes. Leader, because I feel like I'm a follower. I love this. Yes, be the leader. Leader and a manipulator. That's what I'm talking about. It's okay. The manipulator's okay. I would prefer for you to be a manipulator than a victim. I'm just saying. And I'm explaining that. The way I call this the victim is that if there is like life in your mind, it's like straight tornado or hurricane in your mind. If you're the victim, I'm telling you, man, you just beat yourself up. And the more you beat yourself up, it's harder to start to develop confidence. So I would prefer for you to be the person that's more been selfish and like manipulating your way, not in the bad, like you're trying to hurt other people, but like you're trying to get your way. I prefer that because at least we could work on that. We can move you to the lover and then eventually to the leader, right? But a victim, is very hard from a victim to go straight to the leader. So if you're a victim and you're identifying with victim, go to the fighter, man, fight. Knowing that you have some self-worth, fight for yourself, all right? Is it bad that I barely show emotions? No, it's not at all. You know why? Because you're emotional. All of us are emotional creatures. You're experiencing emotions. You're just not showing them according to what our culture said to show them, right? Our culture cultivates a certain type of behavior. So just because you don't cry doesn't mean you don't have emotions. It just means that that's not the way you're expressing your emotions. You could be crying inside and no one noticed. So we all are emotional. You feel them, you just don't express them that way. I am a manipulator and a fighter all the time. That's great because now you're going to move up and go to the lover. I love that. All right, finally, we'll end it with this. Whenever something happens, you are straight emotional mode. You can't help it. I'm just telling you. You're either going to be a fighter or you're going to be the victim. There's an opportunity, a split-second opportunity for you to choose, because remember, it's a choice, to choose to go to a higher level. It's a choice. The way you give yourself the opportunity to choose is that you have to get the emotions out. So it's a body response. All right. Some victim is a body, fighter is a body response. What I want you to do to try to go to the mind is breathe. That is your ticket. Breathe. Trust me. If you're mad, breathe. If you're crying or victim strategy mindset, breathe. When you breathe, it will reset your mind because your body's calming down, and then it'll allow you to choose what strategy you want to go moving forward. Okay? Remember that. Your mom comes in, yells at you, you go straight fighter mode. Breathe. Now, I taught you guys a breathing exercise. You take 6 deep breaths in, hold it for 2 seconds, release for 6. If you do this 6 times in a row, your mind will be clear, your body will be back to normal, and you can choose. You're not just reacting, you're responding. All right. You choose what you want. So that's what I want you to do. And then you choose. And I'm going to encourage you to always choose. Try to go lover or leader if possible. That's going to be better for you. Okay, Elizabeth, you got it. Lover or leader. Ken, you with me? All right, cool, man. It's been awesome to be with you guys. See you later. I hope you enjoy listening to the group coaching session. And I also hope that you are able to learn something that would help strengthen the relationship between you and your teenager. Until next time, this is a teen's perspective, helping parents see the future.